Good morning, everyone. Yes, it's just getting light here. Well, it's been light, what am I saying? We're still a little in the twilight zone. Yes. Did you know that when you start walking so we have got the North Pole and the South Pole. If you start walking north, right, eventually you start walking south. And when you start walking south, eventually you start walking north. But when you start out on the east, you're always walking east. You'll never start walking west. Yeah, interesting? Okay, well, you guys go figure out what that is. It's not that hard to figure out, but saw an interesting one this morning. I get up, and before I get ready for my Bible reading, I usually go to, okay, did my children message me anything? Is there something that I need to know on Facebook? And my friends have, yeah. And sometimes I go through them reels, right? Because they're real fun, people have great imagination out there, right? When it comes to certain things. And of course, I like to really watch the animal ones. It's so funny. And the little guys. And I counted. Out of 10 reels that I watched, or 10 reels that I came across, 8 of them were people were talking about God. I'm going, oh, yeah, baby. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Facebook is being flooded with people of God. Sharing out there, giving encouragement, just sharing their stories. Wonderful. I love it. I love it. It's like, yeah. Oh, of course, Facebook I don't care. It's there, okay? And I made the choice to just not be a part of certain other things. Huh? And so my whole Facebook, what I'm experiencing is what? Aha. Just don't have give and take with certain things. And that gets eliminated, and suddenly you are in what you should be into, right? And you yourself should give. So, yes, my Bible readings. How do they turn out often, right? Well, here's one thing. Don't lie about God. Be honest, truthful about God. And for me, as I said, when I go through Numbers and I'm reading certain things, if I'm trying to teach about a merciful God out there, if you walk with God, things just are better. They're just more rounded. You address things and you approach things, and then you find solutions for whatever in different ways. Right? Yes, in better ways, in more peaceful ways, harmonious ways, and your whole life just changes. It does. It takes a little time, but it does. But if I start out with a lie, and then they get someone interested, and they start reading the Bible, and they're going, holy cannoli, what kind of God is that? Killing babies, killing women, who had already babies, and keeping the young girls. For example, I'm just using that as an example. How is that going to come across? Well, if I were a person that some people are really fortunate. You grow up with God in your life, in your family, right? Yes, at least with some of it, something, right? Yeah. Some get rejected, and most likely why? Because of the lies that they are being told too, right? So I get someone who's never really, starts reading the Bible, reads stuff like this, going, how the heck was that any better than all the abortion stuff going on now? Merciful God? Where? Where is the merciful God when it comes to another people? Not only this, but, so your merciful God was just fine when all them Europeans and whatever came to this country here in the United States and started killing off what? Not just the men of the native tribes that were fighting them, per se, but the women and children were slaughtered as well. Oh, well, it goes right along, doesn't it? Well, that must have been God's section too, right? Aha, you see? This is why I'm reading the way I'm reading the Bible. We have to be credible, right? And, as I said, how are people out there? How much? Make your way through that maze. Where is God's word in the Bible, actually? And how is it being lied about, hidden away? To what? To fit whose desire? Oh, hi, boy. Now come here. You lost your buddies. They went off. Yeah, well, you should stay home anyway. Huh? You've been having a hard time with your knee. It's not feeding time yet. Oh, you're wondering, huh? Where are the guys? Did they leave you behind? Well, come on here. Huh? Where are the guys? What happened? Huh? He's becoming older. He's being left behind. Are you being left behind? Huh? It's all right. You need a day of rest. Huh? Tomorrow again. What do you say? No. Oh, good boy. Oh, there they come. They heard you. Here they are both. Were you calling for the guys? Hey, I'm up. Yeah. So, yes. Yeah, so if we talk about a merciful God, an all-loving God, this, that will take you under your wings, one family under God, and under his umbrella, we got to be very clear who that God is, right? Yes? Right, guys? Yeah. How about you do the reading? Here you go. Start reading. Go ahead. I'll leave that up to you. I saw a post too just this morning where there's some kind of a my AI something that I don't do a lot of that. Snapchat and WhatsApp and TikTok and what else is out there? All I do is YouTube and Facebook. That's it. I don't do anything else. Then also often you have to have a cell phone, an iPad, a cell phone, okay? Yeah. That you can actually watch certain things. And otherwise you can't watch it. It's like, okay, I don't need to watch it, right? I don't have one. Yes. I'm one of the few, right? One of the 5% in the world that doesn't have one? I don't care. I'm good with it. Don't want one. Don't need one. No. Right? I'm doing just fine with the little that I got, per se. Which is still plenty. So the talk in it with this AI was, I want you to get off my friend list. I don't want you to be a part of this. And he said, well, you can't really do that, this, that, So the person asked, what's my location? Oh, I don't know your location. It goes on like this. Oh, you sure you don't know? Where am I at? Asked in different ways. Then the person asked, and always denied knowing where they were at. I said, so where's the nearest McDonald's? Tuck, here it comes, 1.5 miles, this and that, and here is the address. And the person goes back in and says, well, how would you know that if you didn't know where I'm located? Right? Oh, I made a mistake there, it's just, I could have been this or that, He says, well, okay, are you getting my drift? The my AI that you guys just got on your whatever is a liar, was programmed to lie. Oh. And there is a person, let's see, how do I trip you up? And sure enough, the person was smarter than the AI and tripped up that AI terribly, right? At the last part of his, the AI says, oh, that was my mistake, this, that, Oh, okay. Yeah, you see how that works? Yes. It's the same in the Bible. Huh? Yes? You start asking some questions to yourself, wait a second. How does that make sense? And suddenly, right, the lies, or trying to hide certain things, or using God. Oh, God said, isn't true, is a lie, is a lie. So is the Bible a lie? Absolutely not. As I said, God's word is in it. We have to find God's word in it. It's a textbook. Most textbooks are not 100% right. That's why they constantly are updating them and editing them, right? Constantly. So, the Bible tells us what to do, what's the proper thing to do, the proper way to live, the proper way to coexist in society. The 10 Commandments are absolute. Don't replace the word kill with murder. Then you're doing what again? Aha! Yes! Yes, see? That's exactly what happened in the Bible as well. People decide, but that doesn't fit our narrative. It doesn't fit our desires and what we still want to do on a lesser charge, though. Okay, but we still need to do that. So we're only going to accept that particular commandment according to what? Ah, yes. Nice try. Now, thou shalt not murder has become what? The people's commandment, not God's commandment anymore. You understand what I'm trying to say here? Good. Okay. Got it. Gotcha. Hopefully. Anyway, was really excited to see that this morning. Kingdom of heaven on earth being established. Mind you, it's happening. I was a blessed child. Peace in mankind, care and love for every dependent child. Peace. Every child feels secure, which reflects cause and effect in the child's life. Peace. Every child eats. Peace. Every child is warmed in cold times. Peace. Understanding a child's growth in troubling times. Then to guide the child to attain harmony with peace. I am peace as a father, as a mother, as a son, as a daughter of God. Peace. To become the best I can be for every child. Repentance. Knowing every child is deserving of peace. Prayer. Knowing every child comes first. Restored. Conditions are fulfilled. Daniela, focus. I it just suddenly went through my mind. If in the future AIs work, and they make money, if they have to pay taxes too. Conditions are fulfilled, pay for electricity and stuff like that. Danielle, I'm sorry, I can't help it. Conditions are fulfilled when every child is loved and cared for. Death separates us from our earthly path to attain peace. Our taught descendants are the future, so let's teach them well and not become knuckleheads. The change of lineage, God's lineage in action, that's key. The true cause and effect in a child's harmonious and happy life. I am an adult, ashamed to ask for anything from my heavenly parents for myself. If a child on earth needs my prayers and conditions greater than I, peace will happen when peace can be found in every child. I will be less than any child that suffers due to mankind's unkindness. Spirit world will hold us all accountable, regardless. Remember that. I remember when all this Black Lives Matter stuff and that organization all came kind of out, I went and read through their manifesto, and it was disturbing. You are so wet. Hi, where were you? Did you take a bath? Oh my goodness, look at you. You're so wet. I'd like to stay a little more dry. It's early in the morning. Yeah, thank you. And there was one part in it where if a child, we're not talking young adult or a teenager, yeah, a child gives consent to whatever sexual whatever, then that's the right of the child. That's not funny, is it? No, it's not. And I did a little video on that. Oh my gosh, did I get backlash. That there was backlash coming from, of course. Yeah. And I was just sitting there and reading some of the things. I'm going, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. How many perverts are out there? Truly, when it comes down to it. Huh? How many? Oh, hiding behind closed doors. That something like that is okay. That's supposed to be what in a child's life? Huh? And of course, really, a child consents to certain things when it comes to all that. Really, truly. Or what door gets opened with something like that? Who benefits the most from something like that? Huh? And sure enough, it's got to be in California. It's got to be. All right, don't go there, Danielle. I have friends there who are actually really good. Where now they're actually working on a bill to legalize that. Legalize that. Okay, all right. Amazing. Dear me. Whew. Okay, but God is working too. Right? Yes. I saw one this morning where talk about God. Do talk about God. Yes. Let your voice be heard out there. But again, in what way? In what way? God has to be able to work with you when you do that. Right? And God is not a vengeful God. He doesn't kill. He doesn't avenge with violence. Okay. Oh, there's something else that I watched last night. Oh my gosh, I was just. It's almost as if whatever I read, whatever I watch, there's always the confirmation of the horrifying events, the horrifying deaths that have happened in the past, are still happening, right? Due to man's ignorance. That's what it is. And it's there's nothing godly about it. There's just nothing. It doesn't matter if it's your supposed enemy side, right? The bad side, and you're the good side, right? The friendly allies or something, right? Yes? Anyway. All right, let's see. Let's continue here. We are in Numbers 33. So, yes. We are not going with the lies. We're going to find the truth, right? Yes? Okay. Let's do that. Take this out. Oh, wait, my whistle. The stages of the Exodus. Numbers 33. Oh, well, they were. Oh, okay. Let's just read. These were the stages of the journey made by the Israelites when they left Egypt in their companies under the leadership of Moses and Aaron. Moses recorded their starting points in writing whenever they moved on at Yahweh's order. The stages from one starting point to another were as follows. I wonder how they know that. Are there original from 4,000 years ago or more? Or a little less, 3,500 years? Are there still original writings of Moses' writings? How do they know? I like to know how they know. Oh, wait a second. You see, I passed up some stuff here. Let's go see in the front what it says here. Well, I have to take all my time I want. A collection of varied material, the book concludes Israel's wanderings, including the abortive attempts to enter Canaan from the south. Much of the legislation, chiefly on ritual and priestly matters, comes in the form of incidents, the natural source of case law. Several of these highlight the punishment for infidelity and so point to the absolute demands of God's holiness, which brooks no rivalry. That's a hard one for rivalry or opposition. There is some overlap with other books, but sources vary from very ancient poetic fragments to post-exilic material. There are traces of some primitive magical practices, some echoes of David's majesty and conquests, and the provisions of the late priestly legislation, never fully observed, on the Holy War. Aha. Oh, there we are. Oh. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, so was I right? Or was I right? And even if I'm a little wrong, I'm still right, right? Okay. Well, there you go. They left Ramesses in the first month. It was the 15th day of the first month, the day following the Passover, when the Israelites confidently set out under the eyes of all Egypt. I thought they left in the middle of the night, and then suddenly they realized they were gone. Oh. Well, different stories. Who knows, right? The Egyptians were burying those of their own people whom Yahweh had struck down, all the firstborn. Yahweh had carried out his judgment on their gods. There you go. God killing babies again. There is and the firstborns, they could be what, 60 years old or 40 or something, but I'm sure there were some babies there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't think that happened. The Israelites left Ramesses. Oh, Ramesses. There was I guess that was a place. Wasn't there a pharaoh called Ramses? So was it during that time? Well, they were there for 400 years, so I'm sure there were how many different pharaohs? But at that time when they left, okay, well, we don't know. They don't really tell us what the name of the pharaoh is. But there must have been several, regardless. Well, anyway. And camped at Succoth. Then they left Succoth and encamped at Etam, which is on the edge of the desert. They left Etam, turned back to Pi Hahiroth, opposite Baal Sepon, and encamped before Migdol. They left Pi Hahiroth, crossed the sea into the desert of Etam. They encamped at Marah. They left Marah and reached Elim. At Elim there were 12 springs of water and 70 palm trees. They encamped there. They left Elim and encamped by the Sea of Reeds. They left the Sea of Reeds and encamped in the desert of Sin. They left the desert of Sin and encamped at Dopka. They left Dopka and camped at Alush. Oh, no, wait a minute now. The Sea of Reeds, isn't that where the waters receded? It doesn't say. It says they left the Sea of Reeds and encamped in the desert of Sin. Never says they went over to the other side. Maybe that is the other side. Must be the other side. Because the desert of Sin would be on the other side. Because they were... Okay, all right. Well, anyway, interesting. They left the desert of Sin and encamped at Dopka. They left Dopka and encamped at Alush. They left Alush and encamped at Rephidim. The people found no drinking water there. Oh, now they do mention that. They left Rephidim and encamped in the desert of Sinai. Oh, no, they left. They didn't. Was that? No, okay. They left the desert of Sinai and encamped at Kibroth HaTavah. They left Kibroth HaTavah and encamped at Hazeroth. They left Hazeroth and encamped at Ritmah. They left Ritmah and encamped at Rimmon Perez. They left Rimmon Perez and encamped at Libnah. They left Libnah and encamped at Rissah. They left Rissah and encamped at Kehel at Taha. They left Kehel at Taha and encamped at Mount Sheper. They left Mount Sheper and encamped at Haradah. They left Haradah and encamped at Makalat. They left Makalat and encamped at Tahat. They left Tahat and encamped at Terah. They left Terah and encamped at Mitkah. They left Mitkah and encamped at Hashmanah. They left Hashmanah and encamped at Mazarat. They left Mazarat. Did they have a map? I guess they named all these places. We know that they just, when they went through, they just named some places, right? Renamed places, named places, but interesting. And encamped at Bnei Jakan. They left Bnei Jakan and encamped at Hor Gidgad. They left Hor Gidgad and encamped at Jotbatah. They left Jotbatah and encamped at Abranah. They left Abranah and encamped at Ezion Geber. They left Ezion Geber and encamped in the desert of Zin, not Sin. This is the desert of Sin, S-I-N. This is the desert of Zin, Z-I-N. That is at Kadesh. They left Kadesh and encamped at Mount Hor, on the borders of the land of Edom. The priest Aaron went up Mount Hor on Yahweh's orders and died there in the 40th year of the exodus of the Israelites from Egypt, in the 5th month on the 1st day of the month. Aaron was 123 years old when he died on Mount Hor. The king of Arad, the Canaanite, who lived in the Negev of Canaan, heard of the Israelites' arrival. They left Mount Hor and encamped at Salmanah. They left Salmanah and encamped at Punan. They left Punan and encamped at Abat. They left Abat and encamped in Moabite territory at Aye-Abarim. They left Ayim and encamped at Dibon Gad. They left Dibon Gad, or God, and encamped at Almon Diblatahim. They left Almon Diblatahim and encamped in the Abarim mountains facing Nebo. They left the Abarim mountains and encamped in the plains of Moab, near the Jordan opposite Jericho. They encamped near the Jordan, between Betah Yehishamat. Yeah, see, I always say a J there, but it's probably a Y sound. Yeshimot, and Abel ha Shittim on the plains of Moab. Woof! My mouth just got to work out. The allocation of Canaan, God's order. Now, in this whole thing where it's like a map going where they're going, and actually there's a map back here. I've no doubt where they... No? I have a huge... Oh, yeah. Nope. Okay. I have a huge... All right. Oh, no, here. Map 2. Egypt and Palestine at the time of the Exodus and where they all went. Okay, there it is. Oh, they walk. Oh, does it show where they walked? Oh, that's just a crisscross kind of stuff going on here, if that's what it is. But I have a big old book where I'm going to take that with me when I go to see my grandchildren. It's a great book. It's history. It's the Bible and history kind of combined, and it tells you a lot of different things. Oh, are they all true? I'd hope that at least 75% of it is accurately positioned. This, that. It's got a timeline, right? Yes, I think it'd be interesting to read the stories, then find some stories, right, and how they're connected to this timeline, this, that. And read to the children. Yes, of course. I'm going to have to censor some. I'm not going to teach these young children. Okay, I'm just telling you. But it gives them a good sense, a little bit of a sense of history, what history is, different eras, different, right? Yes? And how they're connected to the Bible as well. Aha! Yes, yes, yes. Then you never know. We might have a historian suddenly, right, in our family, going to college for that. Maybe write some things, right, that were wrong. You never know who you have in your family that will go out and set some things right, even from the past, right, that were just recorded, given, according to whose desire? The people's desire, not God's desire, not God's will, not God's way, right? Yes? There you go. You never know what your children, when you just expose them a little bit to something, right, on how they might get inspired through what? God's inspiration as well, what was given to them by God at birth already. Yes? But they have to come across it, don't they? For them to find the interest. And then you never know. What a fantastic, amazing child you just may have given birth to and were allowed to be the parents of. Or grandparents of. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Let's keep going. So, interestingly enough, though, that in none of the... in this first part here of 33 in Numbers, we know where they all went, but since this is the Bible, this sounds more like a historic rendition here rather than a Bible rendition when it comes to, should they not let us know? Okay, that's where where they got the water from God. This is where the sea parted. This is what, and that's how, and some other thing. This is where the 10 Commandments were given. We do know, though, where Aaron died, which mountain, right? That was in it, interestingly enough. Okay. Just saying. The allocation of Canaan, God's order. Yahweh spoke to Moses on the plains of Moab, near the Jordan by Jericho, and said, "Speak to the Israelites and say, when you have crossed the Jordan into Canaan, you will Drive out all the local inhabitants before you. You will destroy all their painted images. You will destroy all their metal statues, and you will demolish all their high places. You will take possession of the country and settle in it. For I have given you the country as your property. Well, that sounds familiar, doesn't it? You will share it out by lot among your clans. But that sounds familiar too, doesn't it? My goodness, how similar is this to what happened in this country? It wasn't God, though, was it? It was a king, several armies, and lots were given out too. Remember the rush towards, but then they had this. Okay, I remember. What was it? That one movie, Far Away or something? Had that in it. Okay, I'm just, whatever. Can't drive all the people out. What have they ever done to them? I said, do we go out? How do we witness to people? Have things changed from thousands of years ago? Oh, have they? Hey, I'm not getting this. You will share it out by lot among your clans. So I guess this was the part where then, oh yeah, the Jordan and the Reubenites and the Gadites, and they weren't happy with, and they didn't really want to go on the other side, and okay, whatever. Oh my gosh. To a large clan you will give a larger heritage, and to a smaller clan you will give a smaller heritage. Well, we know that worked out really well. Where the lot falls for each, that will be his. Your heritage will depend on the size of your tribe. If, however, you do not drive out the local inhabitants before you, the ones you allow to remain will be thorns in your eyes and thistles in your sides, and will harass you in the country where you are living, and I shall treat you as intended to treat them. And I shall treat you as I intended to treat them. What does that mean? What? Read that again. If, however, you do not drive out the local inhabitants before you, the ones you allow to remain will be thorns in your eyes and thistles in your sides, and will harass you in the country where you are living. And I shall treat you as I intended to treat them. What does that mean? I have no idea. That's the end of 33. What do you mean by that, God? Father? Heavenly parents? Well, there you go. He said, I had no idea. It wasn't me that was talking at that time. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. I guess we're getting, good guidance from the Bible here, are we? Well, it's just a history book. Oh, okay. No, it's not. This is not just a history book. This is supposed to be 100% guidance from God. But it's not, obviously. To me, it's not. And I will, if I have to talk to someone that, as I said, let's say that I'd like to make God palatable to, then I'm going to have to be very clear about my belief and faith on who God is, what God represents in this world, that there is an afterlife and spirit world, that there are consequences to our actions and deeds, even thoughts. So then I also have to know the Bible. If I don't know the Bible, then if someone can say, hey, but you need to talk about this, don't you think that was awfully mean? I mean, what are you doing? Aren't you trying? You're not driving me out of my home and then take over. Oh, what am I saying? What's going on in some places right now? Oh, in the United States. Oh, interesting. You come with peaceful intentions to my home, and you're trying to teach me something really good. But I'm reading the Bible in the Old Testament right now, and it's pretty horrific on how that was done at that time. And I could say, well, that was at that time, and God just, well, then it's not an unchanging, all-loving God. Absolute. Then God's not absolute. Then who knows what else is not? Right? Yes? Yeah. Okay. Hey, come on. Isn't the Israelites got one of the commandments before they ever went to Sinai is don't be jealous and greedy about your neighbor's stuff. Well, doesn't that? Okay, that was just within the Israelites. So really when it comes down to it, okay, the 10 commandments are just for the Israelites, are just for the Hebrews and the Jews, right? And Israel, even today, right? It's just for them, wherever they are, wherever they live, right? They have the Orthodox Jews, this and that. I don't know if they're a part of Israel or not. I guess they are. Maybe not. I don't know. But it's only for them then. We're not obligated. There's no obligation for us to keep the 10 Commandments then. Right? Wouldn't that be right? Oh. Well, if it is meant for everyone, a Christian, if it's meant for all Christians, if the golden rule applies, which are in every religion, okay, it's in it. It's not just in every non-religion a golden rule applies. It's there, okay? Well, then how does this make sense? Just wondering, how does that make sense? It doesn't. I have found in my life that violence and running into someone else's door is never the answer. Never. Never. Knowledge, though. Knowledge and our own spiritual growth. That then one can talk about common sense. Observe what? Nature, the principles of creation. Right? I'm coming. That is the way. What does Jesus say? I am the way. I'm the truth. I am the life. And what did Jesus do? Okay. That didn't apply. That's just the New Testament. That didn't apply in the Old Testament? Really? Interesting succession. When God finally had to send a human being that did what? Abstain from all violence. Done. Boy, he was good at preaching, though. Yes. Okay, well, we know how many billions of Christians are out there. That's right. You tell him. Huh? Are you a Christian? Say yes. My mommy is one. Of course I am too. Right? Okay. They won't get fed. God's love and blessings always. May He protect you, and I will. Talk to you all another time.